in this video, I'm going to show you why you are struggling on the default hardest, why is it not trustable, and what is the reason behind those values, and what can you do to solve all those things in this video. So right now I'm on default hardest settings. Let's get on to the game. You can have a look at the timing feedback here. Nathan Ellis is bowling right now. See the ball. So now look at the delivery. When the ball has already come to the batsman, I am trying to defend it. So if you see the position of the bat and the ball almost reaching the batsman, it is properly timed. But as per the game, I am early on it. Why is that the reason? What is the reason behind this kind of a delayed response in terms of the timing? See that? Again, early timing. What is the reason behind this? Let me just show you that. So that you saw in the default harder setting. Now let's get down to my slider setting, which is more balanced, which will give you proper experience. It is basically a setting where you just watch the ball and hit the ball. See that? Now the timing has come down to late. The reason being, whatever you play is what you get. There is no deception in the kind of space you get, in the kind of timing you get, because this allows you to play all these shots, see everything on ideal, because this is a much more balanced slider setting than the default hardest. And the reason is very simple, guys. When you go to hardest setting, all the values, if you see AI legend 50 50 50 50, that is fine. Okay, batting, all the values, marker is at 0, early shot, everything at 0 0 0 to make it challenging. All right, the biggest deception happens because of the physics, guys. That is, when you open the physics, you will see minimum pace, maximum pace 50, bouncer length, everything is fine. Swing is 71, everything is fine. But just have a look at the pace bowling visual speed. It is at 100. And what it basically does is, visually, the ball will come at a faster pace, but the timing, you have to do it as per max pace being at 50. You get the deception happening here, right? So in game, the calculation of the timing is being made on the maximum pace, not the visual speed. Visual speed is just what it says, it's visually faster, but the timing the game demands is at 50. So what happens is, even though the ball looks like it has already reached you, you have to play it really late for the ball to be timed at ideal. And that is the biggest flaw in the default harder setting. Now in the same thing, if you come to my setting, I have increased the maximum pace slightly more, but if you come down, you will see my visual speed is at default, which is 70. So when you go to the new slider setting, if you go to the default setting, you will see that the visual speed is just 62, but it is not 62. In the bottom it says press triangle to reset value, right? When I press triangle, see what happens, it goes directly to 70. So basically the pace bowling visual speed in the game default value is 70, and if you keep this at 70, and if you are having the pace at say 50, 40, 30, or 70, 80, 90, or 100, whatever you see is what you get. Basically, when the delivery comes and you see the delivery visually, you can literally play at the delivery, and the game will give you the timing according to that, not according to the visual speed, because now we have set the visual speed at 70, so there is no deception happening with the game. That is the reason you guys keep playing early even when you are visually seeing the ball at a higher speed. So that deception happens at hardest difficulty, and that is not balanced. That is the reason you keep playing shots which you shouldn't be playing in the first place, because you are playing at the 50 pace but the visual speed is at 100. So that deception is happening, and that is the reason you are ending up playing the ball as early as possible, but the game actually wants you to play even more late. So that is the reason the contradiction happens, and that is the reason you have to change this both values and play according to that. That's the whole point of all these slider setting being in this game in the first place. All right, so make use of this change because it is very effective. So now the pace is at 100. Let's just try to defend this. we will see how fast the delivery is and whether we can time it or not. See that even when you are timing it very early, the timing shows it has late because the pace is at 100. You see the difference in the pace in the last two deliveries. That is basically because the maximum pace is now at 100. And the same thing happens with spin as well, where you have to watch the ball and then play it for the timing to be good or ideal. So waiting for the ball, looking for the angles, and then letting the ball come to you and play, that will be the way to go for you to have a good experience. And one more thing I want to mention is sometimes the spin bowling visual speed on the default setting is 50, but I have it at 70 basically because sometimes the bowler bowls it very fast, like a top spin or an arm ball, and that ends up giving us wicket away because we are timing it very slowly because we see the ball not coming as much as we need to time it. But in those cases, you end up giving your wicket away easily because you are seeing something, but you are expected to do something completely different from it. That is the point you have to understand when it comes down to these visual speeds. It is very deceptive in that sense, and you have to adjust these values according to where your shot comes, and when you play your shot, does the shot feel like it was ideally timed or not? Don't try to see what the game says, but do you feel it being an ideal shot? That is the whole point of it. So if the connect, if the ball, you wait for it and say for example the pace is at 84 or something, you wait for the ball, you try to click it down the leg side, that has to feel like it was timed properly, and then you will have the balance between the visual speed and the maximum pace so that you have a really nice balanced gameplay for your experience to be better. And this is the one reason why you guys are all struggling at hardest difficulty in cricket 26. Any other thoughts, any other questions, let me know in the comment section. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye bye.